This is my PDF document, and this time you can see your watermark, right? Beautiful. So we have created this and it's looking great. Remember, if you know how to use Microsoft Word, you can do whatever you need to do. Hello, thank you for joining us once again in our Microsoft Word training. In this training, we are covering the entire program. This is a full Microsoft training course, and we are covering every single thing in Microsoft. We are going through all the features, all the tools, everything Microsoft Word can do. So I want you to stick around with us and let's complete the entire program. And after this training, you are going to be more productive, you are going to be more effective at the workplace, and you are going to earn more. Today I'll be talking about headers and footers and page numbers and columns and watermarks. So you'll learn how to create all these things and design different types of documents and also make your documents more professional. Remember, when it comes to creating documents, it's all about formatting. It's all about formatting. Your formatting skills is what will make you stand out. And so as I do these things, I want you to learn what I do, follow through with me. Everything I do, practice it. I don't just want you to watch someone doing it. You want to learn. For me, I know how to do them already. So you want to learn. So whatever you see, make sure you practice. Make sure you do the same. And all the documents we are creating, I expect you to create all of them. Whatever resources you need, I'm going to attach them in the link below. So download them and make sure you do the work with us. So let's get onto the PC and continue with today's lesson. All right, so today I want to cover headers, footers, page numbers, columns, and watermarks. So if you don't know what these things are, we are going to discuss them and we are going to learn how to create them in our documents. And so let me open to a sample document we are going to work on, and it looks like this, and I like the way this looks like what I want to design today. It has the columns I'm looking for, it has enough text for the columns, and it has a heading here, and I think this is a footer, but we will be creating headers for it, and we will be creating a better footer, and we will put watermarks in it. I'm sure you like to learn how to create something like this. Yes, and when you look at the newspaper, when you look through the newspaper, you will see how the newspaper is formatted. The newspaper has columns. All right, so to get this done, I will be copying the text from here, and I have actually copied it already into a sample file. Let me open that file. All right, so I have the file here. Let me open this file, and all right, so this is a file, and this file just has the text. I just put in the text here just to save us some time. We don't want to be typing all of these right now. So I have the text, and I'm going to include this sample file in the description. So in this video, you look down in the description, you will see this file as a link. Click on it and it will download. So when you download it, you can start working from here. All right, so this is what we have, and this is what we want to achieve. The only difference is that we have the text here, and this text can just be copied and pasted. So that is it. Okay, so what we have here is actually some terms and conditions for a company. Terms and conditions. And in our work, in our lesson here, we will do our best to improve on the design. So if there's something that is not done well, we will do ours better. Okay, so the first thing we will do is to give it a heading or a title. Okay, so I think what they use as the footer will be a good title. Let me copy that, paste it in Notepad, and pick it from Notepad again. So I'll come here, click right here in front of the text here, hit enter, and I'll paste that here, Ctrl V. Okay, so it says proprietary and confidential document. Okay, now this proprietary and confidential document, where is it coming from? The company is TVMA Incorporated. So this TVMA, what does it stand for? Let's use a company that will, let's use a name that will be more clearer and more friendly to us. So let's invent a company. In IT, we have BIT. BIT is one of the fundamental elements in IT. So we have bits and bytes, right? So we have bits and we have hardware, software, malware, firmware. So let's call it Bitware Company Limited. All right, so it's an IT company, Bitware Company Limited. Let me clear this from here, and I think the company name should come first. Let me put the company name on top. Now you saw how I did that. I wanted to move this whole line to the top, so I clicked here to highlight the entire line. When I got the line, I came onto it and I dragged it up here in front of the proprietary. When I released it, because I copied an entire line or I highlighted an entire line, it moved on top and it brought the proprietary down. So this is one way of changing the positions of text. Okay, so let me see how I will format the company name. First of all, I want it in upper cases, so I'll highlight it and I'll come to change case and we'll use uppercase. Remember, we've talked about uppercase already. So instead of retyping it, you can just make it capital letters. So Bitware Company Limited. Okay, so let me see the style I'll give to it. I think I'll go straight to heading 1 and give it heading 1. I'll give it heading 1, and I see that they have created a paragraph space at the top. I want to remove it. I'll go to line and paragraph spacing and remove space before paragraph. This time it's not after paragraph, before. So I've cleared it from the heading 1. Let me make it bold and increase the size a little bit to, let's say, 18. Let me center it. Bitware Company Limited. Okay. Now, did you see what I just did? I created the registered sign or symbol on top of the name. To do this, you just click where you want it to be. Let's say you want copyright. You enter, open parenthesis, C, close your parenthesis, and copyright will be created. Can you see it? All right. So let me use the registered. So I open parenthesis, R, and close it, and I have my registered right here. This is what I want. Okay, now let me format the proprietary and confidential document. Let me give it title and reduce the size 1, 2. The size, I actually want the size to be 27, so I don't have 27 in the list. I have 26, I don't have 27, so I will type it myself. Remember, if you don't have any number there that you want to put the text in specifically, you can type it. Enter, and I have it 27. 27 has broken down. Let me change it to 25. So 25, enter, and I have it. Good. Let me make it bold and see. Let me remove the bold. Center. All right, so when you are formatting, you try different things. If something doesn't look good, you reverse it, you undo it. So when I applied the bold to the proprietary, I saw that it wasn't looking good, so I reversed it immediately. You need to do that. Sometimes formatting is just trial and error. You try something, you don't like it, you reverse. Okay, now standard terms and conditions. Let me center that, and let me add some more dashes here. 1 2 3 4 5. Let me come here and add the same 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, actually let me copy what we have here and paste here just to be sure they are exactly the same. Okay, so the top is looking quite okay. Let me use my zoom here. Remember the last time we talked about the zoom slider here? Do you remember this? This one will zoom in, and minus here will zoom out. And this is not changing anything, it's just changing the view to make it look more closer to you or a bit far from you. Okay, so this is okay right now. Let me try something here. I'm highlighting this and I want to put a line under it and see it's not looking good. Let me undo it. All right, I think I'm okay with this. Now I'm going to implement my columns immediately. I'm going to implement my columns immediately. Now when it comes to columns, you can actually highlight the text you want to apply your columns to and go to the layout tab, and you see columns here. Please, can you see columns? You click on columns and we have several columns. Right now we are even using a column. The column we are using is what? You can use 2, 3, you can use left, right. Left means small at the left, more to the right. Okay, so which one do we want to use? We want to use 2. Let me zoom out and select 2. Now when I select 2, you see that it will affect just the text I have selected. Can you see this? So columns affect the text you select. I want to apply it to the entire text, so I will actually undo what I've done. I just did this for you to see. So if you have a page and you want to apply columns to just a small portion, it is possible. You want to apply columns to the entire document, it is also possible. Are you with me? Okay, so watch this. The columns, we don't want to apply the columns to the header. Let me highlight the header, the title together with the text, and you see when we apply the column to the title, this is what we are going to get. This is not what we want. Are you with me? So I'm going to undo, and we will start highlighting from here. Remember that we want the column to start from under the title. Do you understand me? So I will click from here and drag down till I have the entire text. So I'm applying the columns to the entire text. I've selected everything. Please, have you seen this? I've selected the entire text. The reason why I dragged with my mouse to select the text is simply because I don't want to include the title. If not, I wouldn't have used my mouse to drag through the entire document. I could have just pressed a keyboard shortcut like Ctrl A and it will highlight everything. You see, Ctrl A means highlight all, select all. On the home tab, we have some editing functions here. Please, do you see this? We have find, we have replace, and we have what? Select. Let's use the select, and I think we'll use a find and replace as well. With the select, when you click on it, we have first one that says what?
Select all.
When you click on select all, it's actually going to select all your text for you. So this is the same as pressing Ctrl A on your keyboard. It will select the entire text. So if you go through all the document, the entire document, you see that everything is selected. You get me? Now, apart from select all, we also have select objects. Select objects. Select objects. So if you have certain objects in your document, you can click on select object, and select object will do an amazing job. It won't select the text, it will only pick the objects you have. You have text there, and you can even drag through the text. It won't touch the text, it will only pick the object it finds within the text. I don't have any objects here, so next time we'll try that. Now this is also nice. It says select all text with similar formatting. Let's click on it and we will see. Let me highlight this. Watch this. On the home tab, select text with similar formatting. So this could have also solved our problem, because it will look for text with similar formatting and it will select just that. So because the formatting here is different from the rest, it has selected all of the text. This is only working because they all have the same formatting. Let's say you have certain titles. Let's say we have this. We have some small title subtitles here. Let's say this is bold and 12. Bold and 12. The next subtitle, breach of confidentiality, is also bold and 12. We look for the next subtitle here, bold and 12. Now you see that we have these three texts. They have the same formatting. I can highlight just one, come to select and click on select text with similar formatting. When I check down, you see that it has picked all those ones for me. Can you see that? This is really nice. So if I have a document with several formatting and I want to change one particular part of the document, or I want to change one section with similar formattings, I can just pick one and select that and it will pick all of them for me. That is why when you are preparing a document, you are supposed to give all your titles the same formatting. You are supposed to give your body the same formatting. So when it comes to working on them, you can select all of them when you need to. Remember we talked about the format painter, right? So if you have a formatting within a text, you can use the format painter to pick the formatting and you apply it to the next. For example, this here needs to have the same formatting. I need to apply it to it because they are the same. This is a subheading. This is a subheading. This is also a subheading. So it's supposed to have the same formatting. I can't give a different formatting to the first one and a different one to this one. And there are several subheadings here. They are not yet formatted. They are supposed to be formatted. How do we format them? We pick the formatting from here. You take the format painter, apply it to all of them. Any subheading we see, we can apply the same formatting. This is another one here. This is another one. This is another one. So all your subheadings will have the same formatting. This is how, okay, I made a mistake, undo. This is how we prepare documents. Alright, so the format painter is gone, I can pick it again. But you get the idea. Excellent. So let me undo, that's not my focus now. I will come back to formatting those ones. I just wanted to teach you how to use that particular selector. All right. How about find and replace? Let's learn how to use find and replace. When you click on find, you can just use a simple one for now. The shortcut is Control F. You use find. I clicked on it and I have this navigation here. It's asking me to type what I want to look for. So I want to look for, let's say, this company name. It says Terra Verde. Terra Verde. So it has found it, and it will find it for me through the entire document. Wherever we have some, it will select it for me. Please, can you see this? So if you want to find something, you can use this find to get it. Let me close the panel. The next one is even more interesting. Replace. Replace is interesting. Watch this. When I click on replace, I get this find and replace. And this find and replace will find something and replace it with something else. This is very nice. So what do I want to find? I want to find Terra Verde, and I want to replace it with our new company. What's the name of our new company? Bitware. So wherever you see Terra Verde, replace it with Bitware. You can replace them one after the other or replace all. Which one should we use? So I'll click on replace all, and it will scan through the document, and it made how many replacements? 59 replacements. Okay. Now let me find again. Let me click on find next and see if we still have some. Because when you click on replace, most of the time it moves from where you are, where your cursor is, downwards. So sometimes there may be some on top. Let me click and see. Did it find some? Okay, so I click on find next and it said none. So I'm sure every Terra Verde, it has been changed to Bitware. Let me close this and inspect. Let me check this. Do we have Bitware here? Yeah. Bitware. This is nice. So you can actually replace something with something else through the entire document at once. Excellent. Okay, so we've done this. At least we've learned that. Let's continue. Now I want to apply my column, and I want to apply it to the text with this similar formatting. So let me go back and use what we learned. I'll use this. It says select text with what? Similar formatting. Let me zoom out and click on it, and it has picked all the text for me. This is nice. Now I'll apply my columns. I'll go to layout, the layout tab, click on columns, and select this one. Let me zoom out and pick it. Okay, it's not responding. Okay, let me highlight and see. Maybe I'll find out why it didn't respond to me. Go back to layout, click here and 2. Okay, now let's see if it's responding. Okay, fine. Like I said, when it comes to formatting, sometimes you try something, it doesn't work, you have to do it another way. So we have our columns. So you can see how simple it is to apply our column. Let me undo and repeat this. Okay. Now, do you see the text I have here? When I brought in the text at first, before I saved the sample file, the text was this way. If you check the right side, everything was like this. This is how the text looked before. But I did something to make the right side look straight. What did I do? What did I do? I justified it. So I'll go to the paragraph group on the home tab and select justify. What's the shortcut? Control what? J. So let me zoom out and press Control J to justify. Okay, so I actually justified it before. I want to justify it before applying the columns. We can do it later, but I think it's better this way. All right, so we will get the columns on the layout tab. Let me go to layout. We'll click on columns and we'll select 2, and we have our document in 2 columns. All right, now when I check the status bar here is telling me that I have 4 pages. 4 pages. Now I don't think I want 4 pages. When I check the original file, they only have 2 pages. So what can I do? I can reduce the font size, and that will reduce the number of pages. That is if it will not be too small for me. Or the first thing I will do is to look at the margins. When you create columns, your margins are also broken into columns like this. So what you can do is to open the left side, and when you open the left side, it actually opens it and adjusts the entire text well. Let me open the right side and you see what is happening as well. So you can work with the margins left, right. You can also work with the middle ones. You close it up a little or open. Do you see what I'm doing? Good. So the margins will do this job. And actually the margins here should also come up. That is the left, top and right margins. So I can raise the top margin here. Let me undo and do it again. Click here, raise this top margin. Okay, so to raise the top margin, I click inside the title where the heading is not, where the columns are not applied, and then I raise the entire margin to help the document to move up, and I'll come down to and do the same to the bottom, and you can see how the margins are affecting the text. Okay, so let me see the number of pages I have now. Let me check the status bar. How many pages do you see? 1 of 3. Okay, so I'll go down and check. Let me check how they look and check the last page. This last page, it has too much text, and so if I want to reduce the number of pages, I'll have to do a lot of work. If the text here was little, then I could have adjusted something small, but the text here is too much. So I think the original one, they used a very small font size. I can reduce my font size and achieve that, but I think I will go with 3 pages. So let me see how I can get some of the text to come here. So I will close this margin here a little, and close this one too just a little bit. Let me move up and check what's happening. Okay, all right, I think I'm okay. This is okay, it's fine. All right, so now we've learned how to create columns, and we've learned 1 or 2 things. What I want to do now is to save my work before I continue. Remember, I opened the sample file that had the text. Do you remember the sample text I opened? And that is the same file I'm working in, but I don't want the changes I've made to to be saved in that file. So I'm supposed to save this as a different file. To do this, I will click on File and select what? Save As. I won't click Save. If I click Save, I've made a big mistake. It will go and update this on the sample text. I don't want the sample text to be affected. Even though that is what I started with, I want to save this as a different file. So I'll click on Save As. And this is the location. I have it pinned here. Click on it today. And the location is right here. Let me give this a name. I'll call this, let me clear all of this and call this Bitware Company Standard Terms and Conditions. I'll just leave it like this. Bitware Company Standard Terms and Conditions. Okay, click Save. And I have my copy saved. So the two files will be there. The sample text will be there untouched. Let me check it out and see. The sample text is here. When I open it, you will see that it has opened untouched. Do you remember this? It has opened it untouched. If I had clicked Save, this would have spoiled by now. So Save As has been useful today. The next thing I will do is to insert page numbers. Have you seen any document with page numbers? Where do we usually have the page number? Is it at the top or the bottom? Which one do you prefer? Bottom. Okay, at the bottom too, sometimes we have it at the right, center, or left. Which one do you prefer? Center. Fine. So to insert page numbers, go to the Insert tab, click on Insert, move to the header and footer section or group and click on the page number, and you choose whether you want at the top or bottom. I'll choose bottom of page, and I'll come down and choose one of the simple ones since this is our first page number. When you scroll down, you will see several styles. You see several styles. We have bold numbers, page 1 of 1. That means if you have 3 pages to be 1 of 3, if you're on page 1, when you move to page 2 to be page 2 of 3, when you move to page 3 to be 3 of 3. Let me choose one of the simple ones here. And when I check, I have my page number here. And it has opened the header and footer section. Let me move up here and click on this. What does this say? So close header and footer means close the header and footer section. When I click on it, the header and footer section will be deactivated. So that is it here. Right now I'm in the main document. If I want to edit the footer, I have to double click on it, and when I double click, it will activate the header and footer section again, and the main document will be faded. You see that the main document is faded. That means you are not in the main document area, you are in the header and footer area. When you are done working, you click on close and you come back to the main document, and the header and footer also face out. Nevertheless, when you print, they will come in full color, the color you have there. If it's black, it will be pure black. It doesn't mean it looks faded, so it will come faded. It will come original, the full color. It will come with the full color. If you want to change the color or you want to fade it yourself, then you have to apply that color to it yourself. Let me scroll down and check the other pages. So this is page what? What do you see here? Page what? Let's scroll down. We have page, and we have page 3. So we have 3 pages. 3 pages. That is fine. Okay. Now, whatever you do to the page numbers, it affects all of them. Let me highlight it or click on it. You can click on it. Let me click on home and center it. I'm choosing to center. Remember, you can center your own page number. Now, if you don't see the close header and footer button, You can also double click in the main document to close the header and footer section. You see that this one is also centered. They are all centered. So whatever you do to your page numbers, it affects all the pages. I can double click and go in, align to the left, and when I check, they will all be aligned to left. So let's align to right, and if you want to move out, make sure you're in the design tab. You click on close this, but if you are not there, you can double click in the main document and you'll move out. Okay, I want to push my page number down a little bit. To do that, I'll double click on it, click in front of it, and come to the margins they have provided for me here. Click on the margins and drag the margins down a little bit. Let me do it again. So when you drag the margins down, it also pushes it down a little. And the margins provided for page numbers is different from the main document margin. Okay. When I click under this page number, I can see that there's a line break. I don't need that line break. Let me press backspace. I think that is what is affecting the margin. When I try moving the margin, it doesn't respond well. It was because of that space. I've cleared it, so now it has moved down the way I want. So it's okay now. Let me check the rest. Okay, these ones have gone down too much for me. So let me move them up. Let me actually go to page 2 and work on page 2. So this page 2, let me open the margin a little bit. So I'm using the margin to raise it up to the position I want. I want it here. Okay, so let me check page 3. Page 3 is also well. Page 1 is fine. I'll leave it this way. All right. So we have page numbers. Now we want to include our header and our footer. Now, what is a header? What is a header? Who has seen a header in a document before? What is a footer? Okay. If you work as a secretary, or you work with documents, or you work in the legal industry, you'll be dealing with several documents, and you will see that there are some documents, they have some write-up at the very top margin of the document, and they have some too at the bottom margins. Even when you are reading books, every book has headers and footers. Let me open to my book, my IT book, and show you something here. Let me open to this one here. This is a PDF of my book, part of it anyway. Now this book, please watch this. You can see that we have some text at the top here. This information here is not part of the content of this page. It is just there to give you an information. So we have Fadam's IT series, Information Technology for the Beginner, Volume 2. Let me scroll down and you see what will happen. Now you see that the headers still continue. Let me scroll down. Now when the main book starts, the first page, I don't have a header there. I've intentionally covered it. But let's go to second page. Now the second page is talking about the first chapter. The first chapter of the book is desktop personalization. So that is what I have there as my header. Now when I scroll down to page 2, you see the same desktop personalization at the top. It doesn't mean page 2 is talking about desktop personalization. This information is an information at the top of the page just to tell you something else. This time it's telling us about the chapter we are still reading. Let me scroll down to page 3. Page 3 also has a header and is the same, desktop personalization. It doesn't mean you are reading about that right now. This one is changing the screensaver. That is the title of what you are reading. But you are under this chapter called desktop personalization. Let me scroll through till we change the chapter. Okay, watch this. This is the end of desktop personalization. You see that we still have desktop personalization. Chapter 2. The header has changed to what? So when you check the book, at the top there's an information there. And that information is telling you something. That information is called a header. Now, when you check the bottom 2, we have some information. Fathom's IT series, Information Technology for the Beginner, Volume 2. Please, have you seen this? This one is called footer. Footer is just an information at the bottom of the page. It's not necessarily part of what you are reading. When you are reading and you get here, you are finished with this page. You don't have to continue reading this to finish that page. That is a footer. Let me move to a different chapter for you to see. So after this, chapter 3. Chapter 3 is talking about the recycle bin, right? Now, this is a header. And so it's telling us about the chapter. When we scroll down, we can see the footer here, and check my footer. I've not changed the footer. Fathom's IT series, Information Technology for the Beginner, Volume 2. It is still running throughout, but the headers are changing. The headers are changing. And like I said, the footer is not part of the text on the page. If you have text on the page and you are reading, for example, this page, it says number 4, very large files are not stored in the recycle bin when deleted, but are permanently removed. It doesn't mean Fathom's IT series is part of what you are reading here. No, it's not part of the page. It is just additional information at the bottom of the page, and it gives you other information. When you are reading a Bible, you can see that we have headers and footers. You can check. We have something else we call footnotes. We'll be looking at that later. So in books and documents, we have headers and footers. So when you are creating headers and footers, when you are creating documents, you need to know what headers and footers are, and you need to know how to create yours. Now, if you check the page numbers here, you see that my page number here is occupying the same space as my header, but it's not affecting the page number anyway, but they are all at the same place. Okay, let me go back to the work, and we'll create a header for this company. Now, the header we are going to create, let's write something there. So to create our header, watch this. You go to Insert, Header, and you choose one of their templates. Let me choose a blank one. So it will open the header section. You see that it has opened the header section. This section is different from the main body or the main content. This is a header section. So you have to know how to put information at your header. Whatever you want to put there, you can put there. If the font size is small, you can reduce it just to distinguish it from the main document or the main content, so that people will know that this is a header. So let's call this Bitware Terms and Conditions, or let's call it Bitware Proprietary Terms and Conditions. Now, one thing about headers is that headers will run through the entire document. So I have my header on the first page, right? Let's scroll down. On page 2, do you see it again? Let's scroll down. On page 3, do you see it? So headers run through the entire document. Okay. I want to separate my header from the main document a little bit. So to do that, I will come to the margins they've created for headers, and I will raise it up a little. You see that it's moving up. Good. I'll keep it here, and I want to highlight it. I double click inside, and I want to reduce the font size to 10, and I want to italize it to let it look very different from my main document. So after doing this, I can go up here and click on close header and footer, or I can double click in the main document, and my header and footer, my header will be there. When I check down, I can see the header on every single page. I can see the header on every single page. Fine. Sometimes I would like to tone down the color of my header and footers so that they look different, because this is pure black. The fact that it's faded here doesn't mean when you print it to be faded. So let me highlight it and reduce the color to a gray color. Let me give it this gray so that at least it will definitely look different when we print it. Okay. So now I have my headers. You know what? I want to push my header to the right side of the document. I don't want it to conflict with the main text. Let me leave it at the right side. Or watch this. I can come to the formatting here, the tab here. That says design, right? Do you see design? Okay. This is interesting. And this also what good. Excellent. I'm happy I'm showing you this. What do you see here? Read this. Now, if you have a document with a cover page, your cover page will have page 1 on it. Your cover page will have page 1, and the next page will have page 2. Meanwhile, you don't intend to put page 1 on the cover page. You want the next page to rather start with 1. But the cover page is just a cover. So to do that, you need to select this to different first page. To different first page means remove the content from the first page. Even though I have it there as my headers and footers, remove it from the first page. Let me close this, zoom out, and scroll down. So at the first page, we don't want it because we have our main company heading here. We don't want it to conflict. But when it comes to the next page, you see that it's there. When it comes to the next page, it's there, and it will be in all of the pages. Now I think when I center it, it will be better. Let me center it this time. Home tab, center. Okay, so it's in all the pages, but on the first page it should not show. Now because I selected different first page, remember headers and footers and page numbers, they are in the same family. I don't see anything here. The page number is also not showing on page 1 because I selected different first page. And on page 2 I see 2. I see 2. Now, if I have a cover page and I want the page numbering to begin from the second page, the second page should be 1, not 2. So to change that, this is what I will do. Let me actually double click within one of the page numbers and come up here. I'm in the header and footer tools. You see that a new tab has been created for me. I have design. Let me come here to page number, and what do you see here? Format page numbers. So with format page numbers, I'll get this dialog box. This dialog box will tell us that how do you want to format your page numbers. Drop down. Do you want it in this format, or you want it A, B, C, D, or you want the I. You see some documents have page numbers in I. This is where you choose it. I want mine in 1, 2, 3. And let me come here. How do you want my page number to start? I want it to start from 0, so that the second page will rather be 1. So I say start from 0, and I click OK, and I come down here. Let me move out of the first page. This will now start with what? Can you see? 1, 2. That is when you have a cover page. Remember, when you have certain document like a proposal, you want the first page to just be a cover page, and when they open, then the main document starts. I'm not talking about a hard cover for a book. I'm talking about a document that you want to bind, and the first page is a cover page. All right. Please, if you have questions, you can ask. Okay, we have a header. Let's add a footer. Let's add a footer because we are learning about headers and footers. I can double click on one of the headers. I can double click on one of the headers and come up here in the same design tab and click on this. It says what? Go to footer. So you can click on it to go to footer, or you can come here and go to select footer, or you can also go to insert footer and choose your footer style. I want to have a blank footer here. Now the footer will occupy the same space as your page number. Let me create it and you'll see. I'm doing something here that I want you to pay attention to. Okay, on this particular document, I really don't want a header to show on this first page. I really don't want I think for the footer it can show, but I want the page number to show on the first page. The second page should also continue with the page numbers, but should have header and footer. Over here, I actually went to on the page 1. Remember, we selected different first page. Do you remember? And it disappeared from page 1. When you check here, page numbers are also gone. For this header footer, it's because we just selected add footer. That is why we saw something there. But when you say different first page, it will separate first page from everything. And that is talking about headers and footers. It will separate first page from headers and footers. Nevertheless, I still want my page number to show. So I actually go back to page number, bottom, and click on it to show a page number on the first page. I can adjust the position of the page number by dragging the margin, or I can even press enter, or come here, remove the space down here and format it till it looks okay. Please follow what I'm doing. If you check the second page, it's also having what? 1. Please, can you see this? Okay. When you are working with page numbers, we have level 1 qualification, level 2, and maybe level 3, because every document is different. Usually when you are working with a document with columns, working with page numbers is a little bit complicated. But if you have a normal document with no columns and you need page numbers, it is as simple as clicking insert page numbers and you have your page numbers. If you have a document like a book and you want the page numbering to begin with I on the introductory pages, then on the main pages where the chapter 1 starts, you want it to now start with 1, 2. That is a different level altogether. The book I showed you before, you saw that we had headers on each lesson. They were all in the same document, but each chapter will have a different header. To be able to do that, it is a different level. And what I mean by that is simply because we use sections. Do you see what is called section 2? Okay, so after you are familiar with page numbers, the next level you'll learn how to work with sections so that you can break sections or create sections within your page numbering. And it's the sections that will help you number one portion of your document with different headers and footers and page numbers, and another section of your document with different headers, pages, page numbers and footers. So watch this. This is what? Section 2, right? When we come here on page 1, is having section 1. This is why we are seeing 1 here and we are also seeing 1 here, because they are different sections. This happened when I click on different first page and I'm still trying to put a page number on that first page. Later we will learn how to fix sections, but since this is our first time talking about page numbers, I want it to be simple. To have page numbers, it is very simple. Just go to insert page numbers, choose what you want, choose what you want, and you have it. Simple. All right. I want to have my footer. I want to have my footer on the first page. I want to have my footer on the first page. So I'll go to footer here and choose blank footer, and you see that the footer is showing here and has actually moved the page number I wanted to create. Let me go to page number 2, bottom right. The page number 2 has moved the footer I wanted to create. So now watch this. Footers and page numbers, they are the same space. So what you can do is to click in front of your page number. You can click in front of your page number. Make sure the page number is not highlighted like this. I can use my arrow key to click left and it will be like this, and I'll type my footer. So I want this footer to be a message like, this document is legal and binding. This is what I want to show at the footer. Now you see that it is joined to my page number, but I want to separate it. I'll press the tab key. You see that it has moved it. Tab again, and now it has moved to the left side. I want to highlight it, reduce the font size to 10, italize it, and change the coloring. Let me highlight it and change the coloring to this. This document is legal and binding. Okay, let me close, and I have this footer here. Let me check through the other pages. They do not have the footer because the first page is a different section now. Okay, I'll fix everything. Let me double click here and copy the footer I put in here. Come down to the section 2 here, click here. I'll actually be in front of this one. Press my arrow key to left, paste it here, press tab tab, and I have my footer at this side as well. I have my footer here. Now, since the rest are all section 2, I'll see the footer on all the pages. Alright, let me go and work on the first page, and I'll come and fix this number 2 that is showing on the second page. So this first page, I want it to move down like this. I think I'm okay. Let me come down here to this section 2. This section 2, I will highlight the page number, come here to page number, format page numbers, and instead of start with 0, I'll let it start with 1 again, and click OK. And when I come there, let me double click, zoom out. I'm on page 1, I see 1. I'm on page 2, I see 2. I'm on page 3, I see 3. They are all working well right now. Okay. So we have our header. This top here, I really don't want a header here. That's why I've taken the trouble to do all this. But I can see a footer on the first page, which is okay for me. I can see a page number there, which is okay for me. When I move to second page, I want to see my header. I really want to see my header. And I'm actually thinking the header should move to the right. Sorry, yeah, the right. So let me move it to the right so that it really looks like a header, because I don't want it to ever confuse anyone that is part of the document. So I want to put this at the right. So I have a header here, I have the main document, I have my footer here, I have my page number here. It looks good for me. This is what I want to achieve. Please, are you with me? Okay, my page numbers and headers on the first page is struggling a little bit because the margins of the document was not adjusted before we created the column, so it is trying to conform to the original margins. So now that I have worked on the original margins, let's see if I can. Now I'm able to position them well. Okay, so it now looks okay. So everything looks clean to me. So when you check the first page, this has gone back too much. Let it come forward a little bit. Close. All right. So the position of my footer and my header and my page number and page numbers and everything, they are all okay for me now. Now I am okay. So I actually adjusted all of them. So when you are dealing with page numbers and things are beginning to look complicated, you have to take time and adjust everything to look the way you want. So now everything looks okay. They are well in line and I'm fine with this. Are you with me? Okay, the last thing, or there are two things to do. I will bolden the subheadings, and after that I will put in the watermark and we'll be done. So let me do that quickly. Anywhere I see a subheading, I'll highlight, make bold. I just want to make it bold. I'll look through the document. Wherever I see a subheading, I will highlight together with the column. Sorry, the column. Make bold. I'll highlight wherever I see a subheading, make it bold. I'll highlight, make it bold. Let me go through. I'll highlight, make bold. I will highlight, make bold, highlight, make bold, highlight, Control B, bold. Let me move up. I don't have some here, so highlight, make bold, last page, highlight, make bold, highlight, make bold. I will highlight, make bold, highlight, make bold. I will highlight, make bold. Highlight, make bold. I have highlight, and now they are bold. Excellent. Let's continue. All right. Let me highlight this, make it bold, and see. Let me come here and actually drop a line here and see if the line will be better than this. Let me see. You like my song? Okay, I think it's good. Now we are going to put in the watermark. Now this watermark is going to write through the document and write a message like confidential. Please watch this. We are going to put a confidential watermark within it. So how do we get watermarks? I think we'll get it in the design tab. Go to design, move through to the far right. You see this. Now watermark here is like what we did in one of the lessons before, but we used an image, right? Okay, so when you click on this, you can actually get a template with the watermark and just click. Let's say confidential. We just click on confidential and voila, we have it in. Now you see that. Okay, so it showed on the first page. We have confidential. Can you see it? It's in. Don't mind the projector. It's in. I can see it here. So it's in confidential. Now, okay, you've seen it on your PC, right? Excellent. Now, what if you don't want confidential and you want to write your own watermark? Let's say something like, okay, let's write something like original copy. Okay, original copy, right? Okay, so we are on the page design tab, watermark. When you come down here, you can see custom, right? Custom watermark. You can also remove watermark. Custom watermark allows you to design your own watermark. First of all, we have no watermark. You can select this one that says what? Do you remember the washout we used the last time? It was a picture watermark. So what we did the last time, we could have also done it here. Please, do you remember when we were creating the purchase order? We created a picture watermark. So we have a picture watermark. This time we want to use what? Want to use what? Text watermark. So the text we want to put in, we will type it here, and we want to type original copy, right? And we want it diagonal, not horizontal, diagonal. And you can choose your font and everything. Click OK and you have it. Try it on your PC and you see it. I have original copy. Now, one good thing about watermarks is that you can use it to prove the originality of a document. Because when someone makes photocopy, the watermark will not show in the photocopy. The original one is what will have the watermark in it. If you go and make a photocopy, the photocopy will not come with the watermark. So sometimes we use this to prove that your document is original. Okay, so I have original in it, and it is showing through all my pages, and I think that's exactly what I want. So you can see what we have achieved today. Let me check the list. We've achieved headers, footers, page numbers, columns, and what? So we've done all of these like I promised. So that is it. Because this document is dealing with columns, we had some small glitches in setting our page numbers, headers, and footers, but it is very easy. Remember, headers and footers occupy the same space as page numbers. And so if you want a page number to be there and a footer or a header to also be there, you need to know how to type them side by side. The footer will not affect the page numbering. It will not affect the increment of the numbers, but they are occupying the same space. Just use your tab key to separate their positions and it will work fine. Page numbering is easy when your document starts from page 1 to the last, but when you want your page numbering to start from the second page, then you need to different first page, go back to the page number settings and start from 0 to separate the first page from the second page, and the second page will start with 1. Let me save changes and prove that to you in a new document here. Very simple. Watch this. We want a header. You click on insert header, choose a header and type. Let me type something here. This is my header. Can you see? Excellent. I want a footer. I can just click on go to footer and it will bring me to the footer section. This is my what? Footer. Now I want to insert page numbers. Now let me double click in the document and assume I don't know that they are all at the same place. So I go to insert page numbers, and I can even go to format page numbers here. But let me just come to page numbers and choose. I want my page numbers at the bottom. This time I want to use this one. I like this. I use this a lot. This particular one. Okay. So what happened here is that my page number has actually sacked my footer. I had a footer there, but because I brought a stylish page number, it has kicked my footer out. So what will I do? I will click in front of this number. It's selected. I'll press my left arrow key to make sure it's not selected, and I'll type, this is my footer. Then I'll press my tab key, tap and tap, and my footer will also separate from the page number. Let me close this. My document is there. I have my header, I have my footer, I have my page number. Can you see? They are not conflicting now. Let me come here and move to page 2. Control Enter to create a page break. My header is showing on page 2, right? Remember, headers will run through the entire document unless you tell it to stop somewhere with a section. Footer is there. Page has changed to page 2, right? You see that the footer didn't conflict with the page number. Okay, let's create page 3. Control Enter, 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 Control. Now I have page 7. Can you see? And everything is fine. Alright, now what if this document is supposed to have a cover page? Please watch this. Let me go to Insert, Cover Page. Do you see cover page? Let me choose one of these templates. So let's say my document has a cover page. And when I say cover page, it's something like this. You see that some documents may need, let me just choose this. This cover page here is not the same as the cover of the book. This is just the first page of the document. So let's say you are working with a proposal, you are working on a proposal and you choose this. Because this is a template, you see, because this is a cover page template, they have done all the formatting for you. They didn't let your page numbers, it didn't affect your page numbers. So the page number is beginning on the next page with as 1. It's beginning on the next page as 1. Because what we selected is a pre or an inbuilt template. So they have done all the settings. Let me undo. To create a cover page, you can create your own cover page. It doesn't mean every time you should use the template. So what if you want to create your own cover page? Sometimes you create your own cover page. Let's say this company, let me press enter, 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 and type the name of the company. Bitware Company Limited. Let's say this is a business proposal. Or let me start with business proposal. Say business proposal. Enter, enter, from Bitware Company Limited. PO Box. PO Box 123 Accra, Ghana. Watch this. I'm designing a cover page. Watch this. Telephone 0244 444 444. Email info@bitware.com. Website www.bitware.com. Please, have you seen what I've done? I want to create a cover page. So now let me format it to look like a cover page. Watch me. I click on this. Let me try this. So heading 1. Let me make it area black to make it very bold. All right, so let's just assume that this is my cover page. Okay, this is a cover page. Let me zoom out for you to see. So do you see what I've done here? This can be a cover page, right? So when you print the document, this will come first before the main document will begin here on page 2. This is just a paper cover, but it's called a cover page. Do you understand me? Excellent. So pay attention. So now on my cover page, I really don't want all these things, the header, footer, and page number. It doesn't make sense to see a page number on my cover page. It doesn't make any sense. So I want to remove all of them. To do that, it's just like editing my header. If you want to edit your header, double click on it. It will take you in to edit. You can change whatever you want. Now over here, I will go to the design tab here, and I'll select this different what. When I say different first page, let's see what will happen. Header is gone, footer is gone, page number is gone. Let me close. They are all gone from the first page. Let's see second page. Second page has a header. Can you see? Let's check the footer. Second page has footer. Second page has page number. But the only problem is that it's starting from page 2. That's what we don't want. So I will double click on it. Come up here. Click on page number. Still in the design tab. Come to format. Come down here. And I select start at. And I'll type in 0 myself. Start at 0. Click OK. And you will see that. Now let me come out, zoom out, and come out of my headers and footers. See, page 1 has nothing, is clean. This is exactly what I want. But page 2 has my header. Do you see your header on page 2? Let's check our footer. Do you see your footer on page 2? Let's move to the right. Do you see page 1? Beautiful. Check the next page. Page 2. Do you see? Next page. Page 3. Was it difficult? It was not difficult. So I fixed this issue by making the first page different and just changing the page number to start from 0, because it is still recognizing that we have page 1, but if we don't select 0, it will reserve 1 for page 1. This is simple. This one, when you go into your headers, you don't see the sections. Do you see any section? There's no section. You only see header, you only see footer. But when sections come in, then it means you are doing a more complex work. So the first work we're doing, we have some sections in it. That is why it looked like it's difficult. No, it's not difficult at all. That's what I've proven to you. Working with headers and footers is simple, unless you want to do it in an advanced way. Then you need to move to the next level. So we will get there as well, where we'll learn about sections, and to know what to do. So this is a beautiful document we have created with our page numbering, and this is how to work with page numbers, headers and footers, and it is very easy. All right, so now that I've proven everything to you, I think we have a great work now. Let me click on save and create a PDF out of this. Save as, click here and make this a PDF. So I'll come to save as type. Remember, to make a document PDF, all you need to do is to change the save as type to what? PDF. And you click on save, and your document is saved as PDF. Let me look for the PDF version wherever it is. It's here, and I have found it right here. Bitware Company, standard terms and conditions. This is my PDF document, and this time you can see your watermark, right? Beautiful. So we have created this, and it's looking great. Remember, if you know how to use Microsoft Word, you can do whatever you need to do. All right, so we've been able to create these beautiful documents. Remember, we went through a whole lot to get this done, but we've been able to achieve it. Take note that with Microsoft Word, you can do whatever you want to do. Whatever you need to do, you can do it. The only problem may be the level of skills you have. And so you have to practice with different documents. You have to work on several documents before you have the skills. Remember, you will not get the skills by watching someone else do something. You will only get the skills when you create a document yourself. So this document, I want you to create it for me. I want you to create it. I will share the text in the description. So just look in the description and you'll find a link to download the text, and you will create this for me. I'll be happy to know that you have created it. Make it a PDF. You can share it on Google Drive and put a link in the comments. I'll check it and know what you have done. I want to take you through the entire course from beginning to end. Today you may be struggling, but very soon you'll be an expert in creating documents. So if you want to learn more, watch out for the next video, and we will create something different, something more advanced, and you will learn new things. We will continue creating documents, and by creating these documents, we are actually learning all the tools in the program. So don't hesitate in joining us next time and go through the entire video. Make sure you watch the videos from beginning to the end. Make sure you get everything in it. If there's something you don't understand, listen to me. You can ask your question in the comment box and I will respond to you. I care about you. I want the best for you. I want you to be a professional. I want you to have skills. I want you to succeed at your workplace, and I want you to be successful in life. If you have not subscribed to this channel, make sure you do that now. Click on the like, click on the share, and share this with your friends, and let others also get this training. All right, it's been great having you with us today. I will see you again in the next video. Bye.